Hello, welcome to the Blak Sage Art Gallery. Today is Saturday, August 9th, and my name is Heather Walker. I will be having a venue today with the Blak Sage Gallery wherein I will be showing 7 paintings, 7 oil paintings, and 2 different photo shoots. What we're going to start with right now is my first photo shoot of the Retro H, which was taken in a back alley in San Francisco next to Bick's Restaurant, which happens to be my favorite restaurant. So I've got the 4 H's out with their colors. I wanted the colors to really pop and, implement it in the colors. And if you'll notice the backsplash of the bricks going in either direction, those are the archways to both of the entryways to Bick's Restaurant and another establishment next door. And I'm selling those in a set of 4. And then we're going to come over here to my first painting that I'll be exhibiting today. And this is a very dear friend of mine. His name is Stanley Friedman. And I painted this picture of him a few months ago. And I'm really pleased with the way that this came out. It's a smaller canvas than I would generally use, but it really works with Stanley. And what I would like to point out is how beautiful his nose is, because he has a beautiful nose. And his dreamboat eyes. So that is Stanley Friedman. Over here is my next painting. This is called Vincent Angel. And this is another very dear friend of mine by the name of Vincent. And I had started this painting a couple of weeks before Vincent's father passed on. And why this is so important to me, this particular piece, is I had put in the wings on Vincent. And as I was doing the composition for Vincent, I was seeing his father and realizing how much he looks like his dad. And when I was probably about a quarter of the way through the composition, Vincent had called me to tell me that his dad had passed away. So this painting has some real significance and emotions behind it. And of course, here is the heart, because Vincent has a big heart. And I've got the skull up here, and Vincent's bird. His bird's name is Harley, and the Greek sky below with the sunset coming into play over the right shoulder. The next painting is a very dear friend of mine, Kimberly. She taught me how to tie my shoes and put mustard on my corn dogs, and also stuck my foot in the mud when I got a bee sting when I was a little girl. Kimberly's picture is very representative of her history and her life and who she's become. Kimberly has beautiful green eyes. It's, I think, her favorite feature. So I made sure to really bring Kimberly's eyes out, just really bring the whole feature forward, because I know it's very important to her, her beautiful green eyes, and of course I love them too. So on this particular painting, I have the blue heart, which represents some pain and struggle and heartache that Kimberly has been through, and how she worked through it with love and loving herself, and that now her life is very full and very rich. And I'm very happy for her, and I love her very much. So this is Kimberly. Next painting is Donatella. I've painted many nudes, but Donatella is the only nude that's going to be in the exhibit today. She's very special to me for a few different reasons. I really wanted to paint the full-figured woman to make sure that women realize we're beautiful no matter what size we are. And I know that a lot of women don't see themselves as beautiful unless they're stick thin, but Donatella proves that that's not true. Beauty really does come in all shapes and sizes, and Donatella is a beautiful woman. And if you look right here at the black splash of her hair, this is my favorite part of the painting right here, even though I love her full figure. I love how the hair meshes with the background. And then I have the beautiful colors splashing through on the sides, and more of an Art Deco modern approach. But yeah, love Donatella, go girl. Next picture is of a very good friend of mine who lives in Southern California. His name is Steve Hancow. I painted Steve with the backdrop of Italy. We've got some villas, trees, and purple mountains splashed with color leading to the sea. I particularly like Steve's eyes in this picture. He's a very kind and loving person and a very dear friend of mine. and I wish he could be here today, but he isn't going to be able to make it. So perhaps in my next exhibit, Steve will be able to come. But this again is a piece that I really, really am fond of. The next painting has particular significance because it's my children, who I love more than anything in this world. Dylan and Georgie. Dylan and Georgie took this picture for me for Mother's Day in the backyard and then surprised me with it. So I have this particular picture in an 8x10 in a frame in my office. So painting my children was the hardest thing for me to do. I had grappled with it for years. I wanted to paint my kids, but I wanted it to be so perfect that I just couldn't get myself there because I knew I just had to paint them with as much love as I possibly could, and so I grappled with that. It was very difficult for me. So when I finally decided I'm going to paint the boys, it seemed only right that I would paint them from that particular picture that they took for me, wherein they're sitting in the backyard, Dylan's sitting on a chair, Georgie comes up alongside of him, puts his arm around his brother's neck. Georgie's wearing Dylan's baseball cap backwards. This is the back fence and the trees and the bushes that come into play. I love this painting. I'm very, very pleased with the way that it came out. So again, this is probably my most emotionally attached piece for the reason that it is my children. So this is Dylan and Georgie. Finally painted my boys. And then the next painting is a very dear friend of mine. His name is Mark Pothier. He's a very close to my heart, dear friend. He lives in Southern California. He runs a very successful business. He works on movie stars' homes, and he's just a very well-rounded, good, loving, kind man, and he's had a very big influence on me in my life. And I know that Mark wishes he could be here, and perhaps we'll have another exhibit soon, and he can attend that one. This picture was taken of Mark in a restaurant, not by me, by someone he was with. He was on his cell phone, and there was a woman in the background. So this is Mark. Got the whole background image going there, which I really am pleased with. And that is my painting of Mark Pothier. So someday he might just want to see that. So then we'll move on to the next one. And this is the Transamerica shoot. I had taken this shoot about a month ago now. I had gone to the city to take a bunch of friends and co-workers to Bick's restaurant, which is the same place that I did the Retro 8 shoot, and took these pictures of the Transamerica building from the street, and went in and brightened them up and splashed them up with color, and particularly attached to these particular photo shoots because I love the Transamerica building. I always have, and I've always been drawn to architecture, and I think the Transamerica building is just a beautiful piece. And I was laughing as I was realizing the other day that it's a very phallic building. And that's all good. So this is the Transamerica shoot. I love it. Thank you very much for coming to the Blak Sage Gallery today and for being a part of our special day. I know that Jim Wood and myself, Heather Walker, appreciate you being here, and we look forward to many, many more gallery exhibits. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless. I love you. Bye-bye.